All right. And so with the equation, x equals -1. Okay, and we had some issues in identifying these two things. Slope and y-intercept. What issues do we run into? Okay, there is a slope, but it's a little different. But there is no y-intercept, correct? There is no y-intercept. So, why is this one so much different than the other ones? Anybody know why it's so much different than the other ones? Well, that's not what really makes it so much different. What makes it the biggest difference is the fact that this is not a function. And things that are a function, this is just a review for you. A function is anything that has an x that corresponds with a different y. The problem is here, this x is going to correspond to the same x each time. X is not going to change. So all the different y's do not have a different x to match up with. Okay? And so, by looking at the graph, we can talk about what the issues are. You won't be able to graph this one in your graphing calculator because your calculator is a function calculator. It only graphs things in y equals. That's why whenever you hit the graphing button, it goes y equal 1, y equal 2, y3, y4, y5, because everything has to be in slope-intercept form to graph on your calculator. Okay? And so this one is going to create a vertical line passing through -1. Now, as we can see, it's not going to cross the y-axis at all. So here's my question. What kind of slope does it have? Does it not have one? So if this point is where we started at -1, how can I get up to that point, -1, 4? How did I get there? Huh? I went up 4. Okay? So I do have a slope. But there's a problem with my slope. Okay? So if I went up to that one right there, I went up 4 units. Did I go left or right at all? I did not. Okay? So what's 4 divided by 0?
0.
Try it. We got people that do. They'll get it before you get over there. What's 4 divided by 0?
0.
What does it say? It says error. It says it's undefined. You cannot divide by 0. You can take 0 and divide it by any number, but once 0 is in the denominator, a function is equation or a number is undefined. And so therefore, this is saying that I will rise as much as I want. It doesn't matter what point I want to go to. But there is no run, and since I'm dividing by it, this equals an undefined slope. And so, what I kind of tell myself to kind of help people that have a misunderstanding about functions at times is if I have an error that shows up in my calculator, there's got to be a problem with the vertical line. There's got to be a problem if an error shows up in my calculator, so that's what makes it not a function. How many have you ever heard of the vertical line test? Probably don't know how to use it, but ever heard of it to define a function. This obviously defies what it is. Vertical line test is used to see if I took a vertical line, took it across my graph, if it hit the graph in 2 places, then it wasn't a function. Well, how many places does this vertical line hit? Every one of them, right? So therefore, this is a non-function. And that's why you couldn't graph it. So anything that's an x equaled graph will always be a vertical line passing through the point of what the x equals. Okay? And that's why we have undefined slope and the y-intercept does not exist.